This is the Phillies POSTCAST, your instant game reaction for the Philadelphia Phillies. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network. Your team every day.
Oh my goodness gracious. Welcome into the show, everybody. This is Locked On Phillies POSTCAST. My name is Mark Farzetta. It's great to have you along for the ride. Your Philadelphia Phillies start the season 2-0. They start the season with a series win, and they go to break out the brooms at 1:35 tomorrow against those Washington Nationals with Aaron Nola on the bump for your Phils. You got to love every second of it. 8 walks in today's game. Brandon Marsh breaks out, including a nice little hit there against the left-handed pitcher. Good to see that from Brandon Marsh after struggling so much yesterday, as did, or 2 days ago, rather, as a lot of Phillies bats did. 3 different Phillies hit home runs, including Brandon Marsh, Kyle Schwarber, Bryson Stott, and Jesus Luzardo. How about him? That's how we start things off here on Locked On Phillies POSTCAST. Once again, make sure you like and subscribe. You got me throughout the season, Mark Farzetta, breaking out every Phillies game throughout the year. Connor Thomas bringing you Locked On Phillies podcast every day. Let's start it off with the player that's going to take the taco into tonight's game.
This is the Locked On Player of the Game.
There's a lot of people. A lot of people could be up for the player of the game. A lot of people. You talk about Kyle Schwarber. We're going to give him his flowers coming up in a second. We talk about Brandon Marsh, once again, bouncing back from a 4K performance in the season opener. But the guy that I'm going to go with is not Bryson Stott. The guy I'm going to go with is Jesus Luzardo, who went out there and touched a little bit of history today. 11 strikeouts for Jesus Luzardo, second most ever going back to 1893 by a Philly making their Phillies debut. Jesus Luzardo, 5 innings today. Those 11 strikeouts puts him in the category of Jim Bunning, just short of Garrett Stevenson, who had 12 strikeouts in his Phillies debut. What a performance from him today. The one blemish, obviously, the home run. They got to him there. Ruiz seems to be starting the season out right. Not Yankees fire by any means, but certainly for Ruiz fire by his standards. But I really was impressed with Jesus Luzardo today. Couple of walks as well for him, but overall, if you look at his box score, was able to bring it for the Phils today. 5 innings, 5 hits, 2 runs, both earned, 2 walks, 11 strikeouts, 95 pitches for him. They were, for the most part today, getting the corners, the pitchers today, with who was behind the plate today. Barrett was behind the plate today. I liked what I saw from Jesus Luzardo. Really stuck it out throughout the game. He had his sweeper working tremendously throughout the ball game today. And there was one pitch in particular, and it's unfortunate because it was against Lowe in the second inning, right before Jose Ruiz came up there, or excuse me, Ruiz went up there and got the 2-run home run in the second inning. It was a sweeper that he threw to Lowe, and Lowe, the look on Lowe's face after Luzardo toasted him with that sweeper, it was utter confusion. Caught him completely off balance, threw him a 1-2 sweep. He chased it well outside the zone, and there was nothing he could do about it. Unfortunately, right after that is when Ruiz came up and hit the home run. Now, here's the other thing. I like Tom McCarthy and John Kruk. I hate the modern-day scoring in baseball. Bohm should have had that ball. Was it hit on the screws? He absolutely should have had that ball. But then that run becomes, instead of an error, it becomes an earned run on Jesus Luzardo. That's not fair. That's not fair. And then Stott has another play that originally was ruled an error, and then they give it a hit later in the game. To me, that's just, I hate the way baseball is scored nowadays. And you could tell, a little bit more with Krucker, but with T-Mac and Tom McCarthy, or excuse me, and John Kruk, you can hear in their voices that they're like remaining, okay, they're being calm. And you hear a little thing from Kruk, Luzardo is going to get charged for a hit on that later. It's like, huh. You just hear that, right? You hear the calmness in their voice, but there is rage behind that. Every syllable they're putting out there. And I'm with them 100% because it affects your pitchers. Now, as far as the pitching, Luzardo, the difference maker for me is as to why he is the player of the game is because the bullpen struggled so much after he left the game. So it was all the more important to get the solid start from him because it looked like, wow, the bullpen was just going to keep giving up runs. But fortunately, the bats came alive, especially in the turning point.
Time to reveal where the game was won or lost. It's the turning point.
No question when the turning point was for the Phils, but it was in that sixth inning. Now, here's the deal. The Phillies had a really interesting thing there. They were tied at 2. Bryson Stott came up, hit the home run, which is great. If there's anyone that's going to make this team make their first-time All-Star, I want it to be Bryson Stott. That's the guy I'm going to be pulling for. So Bryson Stott goes out there in the 4th inning. He's able to hit the 2-run home run. He climbs back into the count. It's a 2-2 curveball down to the zone in the 4th inning. He's able to blast it out, a wall scraper just over the right field wall, makes it a 2-2 ball game. Phillies don't get anything going in the 5th inning. Then in the 6th inning, that's when the floodgates started to open for the Washington Nationals pitching. Poche's out there, left-handed pitcher, shuts down Kepler. He sits down. Then Nick Castellanos. Now, I know the obvious thing here is to go to Kyle Schwarber. Here's the spoiler. Kyle Schwarber is the turning point with his with blowing it open with his 3-run home run in the 6th. However, one thing I want to make sure I focus on here is Nick Castellanos, because I know a lot of people are hard on Nick Castellanos. I know in our comments after the show 2 days ago, somebody was telling me I was a little hard on Nick Castellanos. No. Here's the deal with Castellanos. I feel like I defend him more than most. It didn't start out that way last year, but then I was being real with him throughout the season when he started to be the Phillies' most consistent hitter in the last 3+ months of the year. Nick Castellanos, in that 6th inning, after Kepler goes down, Poche goes out there and throws 2 wildly outside pitches. Not wild pitches, but they were well outside the zone. So instead of going out there and still flailing away or, okay, I'm going to be aggressive, he's going to make a mistake and I'm going to hit that mistake. No, he's like, let's just have him keep making mistakes. So he takes 2 pitches that are down in the zone, swings over top of one of them, or takes one of them for a strike, and then is able to take 2 more balls, and he earns his walk. So after Kepler goes down to start things off with an out, with a strikeout, Castellanos shows patience and a solid approach at the plate. How about that? And he takes his walk. Right after that, Bryson Stott works a walk. Brandon Marsh gets his hit to right field. You got the bases loaded, 1 out. They bring Sims in out of the bullpen. Edmundo Sosa steps to the plate. 3-2 pitch inside. Sosa wants nothing to do with a walk. Either that or he just forgot what the count was. They end up walking in a run, so then it becomes, after that, 3-2. Phillies take the lead, and Kyle Schwarber goes up there after a wild pitch that allows Bryson Stott to score. Kyle Schwarber, robbed of a grand slam, thanks to that wild pitch, hits a 3-run home run, again, almost to the same spot that he hit it in, right center field, 2 days ago, hits it there again, another wall scraper from him, but bottom line, a 3-run home run for Kyle Schwarber. And that really, wherever you want to peg it there in the 6th inning, goodness gracious, all throughout the turning point of the game for the Phils. And those runs, just as Jesus Luzardo was clutch with his solid start, 5 innings, 2 runs, all that jazz, okay? Just as solid as he was, the bats coming up clutch with home runs. Later, you got another home run from Brandon Marsh there in the 7th inning that made it a 10-3 game. You got another, I don't even know if you want to call it insurance run after that, with Johan Rojas getting the swinging bunt, bringing home another run with Harper scoring on that to make it 11-3. Hernandez struggled a little bit, gave up the home run to Lowe, a slider that just hung up there just a little bit. And then, unfortunately, they were able to get one more run in there in the 9th inning, which made me go back and change all the graphics. But, whatever. I ain't mad because the Phillies still came out swinging, and their starting pitcher making his Phillies debut helped touch some history. When we come back, we're going to break down a couple of more odds and ends when it comes to this Phillies lineup. Who you loved, who you didn't. We'll also get through we'll go through the comments as well, what you guys have to say about this, and we'll go through the Phillies box score as well. That's when we return on Locked On Sports, Locked On Phillies Postcast. Make sure you guys like and subscribe. Supply House, supplyhouse.com. Hope you guys are taking advantage of all Supply House has to offer. Get the supplies you need from the site made for the skilled trade. Supply House, supplyhouse.com. Whether you're plumbing, HVAC, or electrical work, Supply House is reliable. And it's the reliable way to order for products online. Easy-to-use website is packed with helpful resources that are the latest product info and also help you get the job done right, most importantly. Plus, with complete inventory of over 200,000 parts from 400-plus top brands, you'll find exactly what you need delivered to your house, delivered to your business, coast to coast. Join the Trademaster program today at supplyhouse.com/TM. That's supplyhouse.com/TM. Start ordering plumbing, HVAC, and electrical supplies with just a few clicks. Use promo code HS5 5 for 5% off your first order with supplyhouse.com. Game Time app, near and dear to my heart. The Game Time app, nothing better than catching a live baseball game, right? Do you like baseball? I like going to the games. Well, here's how you go to the game. I mean, I love baseball no matter what, but you hear that a lot. I like going to the game. Well, if you want to go to the game, Game Time app is how you get into the game. MLB games live, nothing like it, with the crack of the bat, the roar of the crowd, smell of ballpark food. How about them talking about the ballpark food at CBP? That's going to smell nice. Taste even better. Last minute deals on Game Time apps, also where it's at. All in pricing, lowest price guarantee. Game Time takes the stress out of buying MLB tickets. Plus, ticket prices drop as Game Time gets closer and closer, meaning you can score an incredible deal with the Game Time app. So download the Game Time app, create an account, use promo code LOCKEDONMLB. That's LOCKEDONMLB for $20 off your first purchase. Game Time is the official ticketing partner of Locked On and Locked On Phillies Postcast. Coming up, I can count on them to grab tickets whenever I need them, thanks to the Game Time app. They also have the seat view, so you can view your seat before you buy it, so you take the guesswork out of buying tickets. No surprises. So once again, take the guesswork out of buying tickets and download the Game Time app, create an account, use promo code LOCKEDONMLB for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Create an account, use promo code LOCKEDONMLB, LOCKEDONMLB for $20 off. Download the Game Time app today. Last minute tickets, lowest price guaranteed. Before we get into the box score for your Philadelphia Phillies, let's not forget about what you guys are going to be kicking around tomorrow.
This is what you'll be talking about.
I have zero doubt that you guys will be talking about the opportunity to break this open with a sweep. Start off the season. I don't care that it's the Washington Nationals. I don't care that it's supposed to be, bottom feeders of the division. Phillies have their own things they got to get going, and I alluded to this 2 days ago. Go have extended spring training in D.C. Come north a little bit. Well, a lot. Go to D.C., have the extended spring training against the Nationals, get the approach down, all that stuff. We didn't have to worry about any shadows in this game today, so that was nice. It was a little hazy, a little humid there in D.C., but it was nice to get that out of the way. But for the Phillies to go out there tomorrow, get Aaron Nola on the hill against Mitchell Parker, a left-handed pitcher, so see what happens at the top of the order, especially with Trey Turner not playing today due to back spasms in his lower back. So they sat him down. JT Realmuto also left the game today, by the way. They said it was precautionary. Rafael Marchand got his first look. Actually, nice little at bat there. I'll get to that when I get back to the lineup. But I'm sure you'll be talking about the Phillies being able to break out the brooms going into tomorrow's game. And then hopefully on this show, right after the Phillies, tomorrow at 1:35, we got a broom featured as a guest just to sweep the Nationals out. By the way, also something that warmed my heart dearly. One of my favorite things ever was when the Phillies were really just tearing it up, getting ready for their World Series runs and all that stuff. They won one World Series, went to another. That's what I mean. The signs in left field at Nationals Park that would read Citizens Bank Park South. It was just beautiful. Beautiful. I didn't see that sign today at the ballpark, but it sounded like a Phillies game. And then it also sounded like a spelling bee. Between the Eagles chant and the Nats chant, which is just the Jets chant. But if you could be, I don't know, whatever. It's a lot of spelling going on in the stands today, but it sounded like a Phillies home game, which was great, especially in the Marsh home run, Schwarber home run, and the Bryson Stott home run as well. As far as some of the unsung heroes in this game, one of the guys that I want to get to, who got one plate appearance today, and that was Rafael Marchand. He came in there for JT Realmuto, as I mentioned. Realmuto went out with the foot injury. Rafael Marchand was behind the dish for, I think, 2 or 3 innings today. Got one plate appearance, and there was one interesting thing that I took away from him, and it really comes down to, once again, approach. This is something that I know plagues a lot of people when it comes to the Phillies and their bats. And it's the one thing people really worry about. They're expecting this rotation to be one of the best in baseball. But when it comes to the bats, they're terrified of them just going ice cold at some point. Now, I'm going to enjoy the fact that the Phillies scored 18 runs in the first 2 games of the season. I'm going to enjoy that. But Rafael Marchand showed a really good approach and really good discipline with his only plate appearance in the 8th inning where he worked a walk. He was down 1-2 in the count, and fought his way back to get into that. And that's when Rojas later came up with the swinging bunt to get the Phillies that extra insurance run. Other guys, Kyle Schwarber came up with another hit today, actually to lead off the game, then was thrown out at second base, trying to stretch that into a double. Alec Boehm, 2 hits. Bryce Harper, 2 hits. Stott, Marsh, and Edmundo Sosa, all multi-hit games. And this is something we talked about going into the season, something I talked about going into the season. The thing that made the Phillies so special last season, especially in the beginning of the year where they were 37-14 before they started to come back down to earth, was it wasn't just Bryce Harper hitting the cover off the ball. It wasn't just Trey Turner or Kyle Schwarber or Nick Castellanos, who struggled in the beginning. But it wasn't just those guys. It was like Christian Pache coming up with a game-winning hit against the Marlins. Like, I know that you didn't have them on your bingo card today, but you know what I mean? It was the glue guys helping you win games. Garrett Stubbs even won a game for you last year. Remember him? They made his minor league debut. Well, with the Iron Pigs at least again today. A lot of things went right for them in the beginning of the year last year because the guys at the bottom of the order were the unsung. Edmundo Sosa last year had a good run as well, especially in the beginning of the season. When you look down at the bottom of that order and you see guys that are contributing, whether it's Bryson Stott, who we all know I think is better than a bottom of the order hitter. When you see a guy like Edmundo Sosa being able to go out there and contribute. When you see Brandon Marsh contributing. Takes a lot of the pressure off the bigger name fellas in the top of the order who also hit today and have hit in this series. 2 games into the year, you're feeling pretty darn good about your Phillies. And yes, you do take it with, it's the Nationals. I understand that, but I don't care about that. I don't care that it's the Nationals. They're not playing down to their opponent. And yes, I've seen that happen way too many times for when they don't do it. I celebrate it a little bit. So it's good to see that with the bats coming out as well as they have. And your starting pitching to this point looking as good as it has as well. Let's get to some comments here on Locked On Phillies Postcast. Make sure you guys like and subscribe to the Locked On Phillies YouTube channel. Connor Thomas has you throughout the week with the Locked On Phillies daily podcast, and I got you for the postcast after each and every game. Let's see what we got going on here, sir. Sketchable. Good day to visit Nationals Park, baby. Stott and Marshy revenge. Oh, that's right. You were there. That's right. Beautiful weather. Now bullpen has to slam the door. Okay. You were there in the bottom of the 7th. Hey. Yeah, they got 2 more runs after that. Whatever. Jess Patrick 2. What's going on? Totally badass performance by Marsh. Great comeback from his 0-for-4 strikeout day. Gotta like it. How about I love it? I'll go that far. I love it. I love every second of it. Facey, what's going on? Or Faxi, I forget. 2-game lead on the Braves after 2 games is as good as it gets, right? Bandman 100, fielding a bit sloppy early. Luzardo had to settle in. But, man, this was just a great performance by the Phillies. Absolutely. J-Lou, is that what we're going with, Bandman 100? J-Lou? All right, I'm here for it. Why not? Jeremy, what's going on? First, I thought we had an Eagles game with all the Eagles. Now, here's the deal. On Eagles chants, I generally speaking don't like Eagles chants at baseball games or anything else. But if it's on the road, it's like almost like taking attendance. Like, hey, let's see how many Philly people we got here, you know? And you get it going. Today, I didn't mind it at all. And the reason I didn't mind it at all was, well, the Phillies were winning. And then second, Josh Harris owns the Washington Commanders. And I feel like further celebrating the Eagles sticks it to Josh Harris even more. So that, for me, call me petty, because I am. Anyway, by the way, I will be locked on 76ers tonight. After the Sixers game, I'll be catching up after this. But thank you. Oh, wait, what did you say about Luzardo? Luzardo, less pressure. Okay. Fact, Castellanos played all 162 games last year. How many in a row total does anybody know? I don't know. If he played 162, then he played 162. You know what I mean? Love the bats. Oh, you're saying started. I think he started every game. But Faxi, that's pretty good. I like that. Brian Breen killing it. Well, hello. Love the bats coming alive. We need that sweep tomorrow. Let's do it. Bullpen tragic says crazy, but otherwise get a great win. Stotty is back. How about the official scores this year? Yeah, they're terrible. They're terrible. Would not want to be a pitcher. And if you're a hitter, I mean, if you're a hitter with any pride, you're looking at it going, that wasn't a hit, but thanks, I guess. Bullpen did their best to give the game away, says Buddy Christ. Buddy Christ, thank you. Hold on, let me make sure I got it right. Yeah, point in the, yeah. All right, we need the Stotty too hotty to swing this well for the season. I agree. Strategic wild pitch to thwart the grand slam, right? Thank you. Seriously, Larry. Schwarber is starting off with decent power. Well, yeah, 2 games, 2 home runs. I'll take it. He's also squaring up baseballs. He's hitting them on the screws, man. Even when they're line drives. Love them. Not going to lie, I have the worst bullpen in baseball. Remember last year when, what was it, Sports Illustrated said MLB.com said the Phillies had the best bullpen in all of baseball. And then the first game, they blew it, and we're like, told you they suck, And then, I don't even know where they were rated this year, but not great today. Not great today. Hey, the Phillies are going to win this game. Phillies are up 11-3. Is that the best? Yeah, 11-3. It was their biggest lead, right? Bullpen, just get loose. Like if don't call me Romano says like if he has that outing today, I'm like, whatever. Aaron Nola should do well tomorrow, complete the sweep of the bats or of the Nats, I think you mean. There you go. Yeah, you do. Judge Patrick Aaron Nola should take the mound with a broom. I love it. K-Rock, hello. Fun game to watch, especially my Stotty boy. Oh, Jeremy, Stotty boy. Looking forward to the game. There you go. Thank you, K-Rock. Man, shout out to Banks for being the only bullpen arm solid today. Yeah, shout out to him, certainly. Clemens and Turner, the only Phillies yet to reach base. It's a shame. Bottom of the order did damage today, so seriously, Larry, absolutely they did. 162 for Castellanos plus 2 this year and the year before. There you go. That's why you got to love Nick Castellanos. You know what I'm saying? I will be back with you guys tomorrow afternoon, 1:35 start time for the Phillies tomorrow. I look forward to breaking it down with you wonderful people right here on Locked On Phillies Postcast, Locked On Phillies YouTube channel. Make sure you hit like and subscribe. Later on tonight, I'll be back over on Locked On Sports Philadelphia for your Locked On 76ers Postcast as well. A double dip, a double duty today. Once again, make sure you guys hit like and subscribe. Jeremy, just so people, Jeremy, a little soap opera behind the scenes. Jeremy and K-Rock, they may be romantic. I'm just saying. But Jeremy says he's okay with being traded for Stotty, right? And I would be too. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. You guys are great as per usual. I'll be back with you guys tonight on Locked On Sports Philadelphia for your Locked On 76ers postcast. Only 8 more games of that after tonight. Thank you. Good Lord. Anyway, all right. See you guys then. Have a wonderful rest of your day, and I will be back with you guys again tomorrow following the Phillies sweep of the Washington Nationals. See you then. Bye.